What you looking at, boy? Like and subscribe to the Triple B. Yeah, thanks, Joseph. Yeah. Please like and subscribe and donate. Now, this is about Joseph Parker. Now, obviously, Joseph has just come off, a big win. Although, is it a big win? Blowing out a guy who hadn't been in training for 8 months. Who'd just been eating, who's out of shape. I mean, I'm surprised they even let it happen, especially for an alleged interim title. It was a very weird fight. And he looked huge, Joseph Parker. He weighed 12 pounds more than he had before. And he looked like he was punching hard. And he went for the KO, Because I thought he's going to box. Because Joseph Parker's strength, he's got decent power, right? Out of 36 wins, he's only got 24 KOs. He's also got 3 losses. So it's on a massive KO ratio for heavyweight. People talk about his chin being, fantastic. Well, it's decent. He went 12 rounds with the Gage, although he never really engaged. I remember being very disappointed and wanting Parker to win. He lost his next fight to Dillian Whyte, and he went down in the 2nd and the 9th against Dillian Whyte. But he's one of these guys that comes back, He's one of these guys that comes back impressively. He knocked out Alex Flores, who was a prospect at the time. He dealt with journeyman type guys. Alex Leapai, KO. Junior Farr was unbeaten at the time, and he won a unanimous decision. Now Farr has been KO'd twice since then. He beat Chisora twice on points, but Chisora put him down in the first round. I'd forgotten about that. Yeah, Joseph Parker went down in the first round in the first Chisora fight, but he won a split decision. He then got KO'd nastily with a left hook to the chin by Joe Joyce in 11 rounds. And, people might have been thinking, maybe he's reached his limit. He went the distance with Jack Massey, a cruiserweight, who he outweighed by over 40 pounds, and who later got KO'd brutally. But he didn't get brutally killed by Joe Patai. He just got outclassed. But he kept on fighting. He's young comparatively. He's 33. Joseph Parker, also known as, let me see if I can do this, Lupe Soliai La Aliole Maliotoa, or something like that. That's the best I can do, which is a difficult to pronounce name, yeah? But he's known as Joseph Parker. So, people were thinking, well, maybe he's reached his limit. But like I said, for a heavyweight, being 33, 32, whatever, 31, in the early 30s is still considered in your prime as a heavyweight. They age well, especially with PEDs and stuff these days. And obviously, after that, he KO'd Simon Keane, who only had 1 loss. He KO'd him in 3, dealt with him. Deontay Wilder, he won a unanimous decision. Very clear unanimous decision. I had him winning every round just about. Zhilei Zhang, he got dropped twice, rounds 3 and 8. And got up to win a majority decision. Zhang should have finished him. It was a very close fight. So even then, people were wondering. But, he then KO'd Bakoli. And everyone's getting excited about it. But this Bakoli was not in shape, He hadn't taken a punch for 8 months. And was he even that good? Michael Hunter, a cruiserweight, basically stopped him. It was an impressive stoppage nonetheless. But as I said, because we assumed Bakoli had a super chin because he got a huge head on him. But I expected Joseph Parker to as I said, outbox him in the early rounds because he's got decent boxing skills. Wait for Bakoli to gas and then stop him. But that didn't happen. He went out bombing. About 30 seconds you had to look at him and then he went out bombing, Parker. And he was hitting hard. His punches looked so much harder, and the effect was a lot. Like I said, he was 12 pounds heavier than his heaviest ever weight, which was against Joe Joyce. Yeah. And he was 20 pounds heavier than when he fought Zhilei Zhang. There's a lot of, by the way, there's a lot of chat about how to pronounce Zhilei Zhang, whatever, man. We're talking about the Big Bang. We know who we're talking about. Zhilei Zhang, Zhilei Zhang, whatever you want to call him. You know, he's out of the picture now anyway, after being brutalized by Caballel. But yeah, so Joseph Parker, and everyone was, oh, he's such a nice guy. He's such a nice, oh, he's so fun. He does these little videos all the time, doesn't he? You know, which are quite funny and, I don't know, allegedly to some people. You know, I think they're a bit fruity. Like, check out this fruitiness. I mean, you know, I mean, look at it. I mean, don't get me wrong, yeah, he's quite a good dancer. He does his little videos to get attention, you know. But the way he moves his ass and all that, it's a bit fruity, you know. And his Jump, the Pointer Sisters form, it's quite a fruity song anyway. But yeah, he's not a bad dancer. No, listen, if it gets him, you know, if it gets him visibility and clicks and views and blah, blah, well, you know, that's fine. But it's super fruity. But, you know, some people think, oh, he's great fun, he's good and all that. But, you know, is there a dark side to Joseph Parker? Is he really such a great guy? You know, some people are great actors, you know, and they will project a personality that isn't really them. You know, when you got a guy who's always, super friendly to everyone, really charming and all that, you know, but underneath he's actually a bit of a narcissist. He likes the attention. You know, narcissists and psychopaths can often be really, really charismatic. I'm not suggesting Parker's a psychopath. I'm not suggesting that. What I'm suggesting is it all a bit of an act? Now, you know, the main thing I noticed about Joseph Parker in his last fight with Martin Bakoli, is that he was massive, 267 pounds. Like I said, he put on 20 pounds since he fought Zhele Zhang. Okay? But, you know, seemed to be hitting so hard. And I don't just mean the way that Bakoli reacted when he got hit on the top of the forehead, which had a devastating effect, as you can see. And like I said, you can see he looked massive. He hit really hard and fast. You know, he looked like a really dangerous puncher, which is not really him. He's got an under 60% KO ratio, which for a heavyweight suggests an average puncher, and that's what most people would have him at. Okay? And I mean, I've got to say, looking at him, Parker, you know, and in that fight, and okay, he didn't have much opposition, but just looking at his speed and his violence, there's part of me that thinks he was smoked. Daniel Dubum, the triple knee. You know, maybe that's why Dubum pulled out. Maybe that's another possible explanation. You know, Dubum's looking for a bigger fight against Usyk or Itama, as I've mentioned before, and then he saw the size of Parker, and he heard some stuff. You know, I still think Dubum popped. Yeah, I still think Dubum popped because there's been a lot of quiet. Nothing's been released. You know, there's something weird going on in the background. And like I said, people go, oh, well, they haven't announced it, have they? Well, there's all kinds of ways. Firstly, there's a B test. Wait for the B test. Secondly, you know, they might have agreed a silent ban. And this is what happens when people pop. But they've got the money to launch a legal case, which obviously Dubum has and Warren has on top. And you know, they say, listen, we'll take your ban, but you're not allowed to announce it. That's kind of what happened. Isn't that sort of what happened to Fury? You know, because these UCAD or whatever, or VADA, they don't British Boxing Board of Control, all these guys involved don't have the money to fight a huge case. And that's why people with money like Conor Bum can hire experts and lawyers to get them off the hook. Dillian White is another one. Right? And we can't be naive. We can't think, oh, Parker's definitely not doing PEDs. Oh, he's put on like 20 pounds in less than a year of solid muscle. I was shocked at his weight. I thought he was going to be podgy. And then because I heard he was 267, and I looked at him and I went, well, he's not podgy. He's in shape. He's in the same shape as he usually is, except much bigger. And who is Dr. Usman Sajjad? Well, he's been known, for ages. He advises allegedly loads of boxers, including Tyson Fury, Conor Bum, two guys that have popped, and Joe Parker as well recently. He started to advise Joe Parker. This is a guy who's been blacklisted by the British Boxing Board of Control. Yeah, it is professional life. You know what he does? You know, he advises people on increasing their testosterone. Now you can do that in inverted commas, a legitimate manner, i.e. for low test guys. But, you know, guys like Tyson Fury, Conor Bum, you know, and Joe Parker have not got low test, and nor is Gay J, who has a reputed therapeutic usage exemption. But that's another story. KJ is quite clearly the biggest cheat of them all, right? But to my knowledge, he hasn't actually employed Dr. Usman Sajjad. He's got his own pharmacy, his own pharmaceutical specialist, right? And there's pictures of Sajjad and Parker together. Sajjad loves the publicity, this guy. He loves the publicity, you know? And he's quite clearly been he's even come out and said, yeah, oh yeah, you know what? It's very easy to pass drug tests. It's very easy to pass drugs tests. And easy to increase testosterone and pass a drug test. At least he's honest. I like that. Because all these normies, like idiots like Otto Wale, hey guys, there's no way Anthony is doing PEDs because he's never failed a test. You'll hear that all the time from idiots in the pub. Not just about boxing, about any sport. Oh, these guys haven't failed a test. They're obviously not doing it. Listen, man, I'll give you an old school example. 1988 Olympic final. Ben Johnson popped, and they took away his gold medal. Carl Lewis was elevated. Every single one in that race, including Linford Christie, yeah, obviously Ben Johnson, Carl Lewis popped at some point. Failed a test. Pissed hot. All right? Yeah, and what, you telling me? The NFL, no one ever seems to fail a drug test in the NFL, do they? I mean, come on, man. They're all juicing their ass or so. You don't get anything in football either, you know? And it's not just muscle building, PEDs. You know, there's drugs for stamina, for endurance. And so we got to ask, where did Parker get this amazing power from? Yeah, he just looks so much more powerful. Some people go, normies go, oh no, because he knew he could win easy, so he just lowered the boom. I'm telling you, well, yeah, with his extra 20 pounds of weight, and he was, the shots, his shots, the power, the sound, the violence of his shots, the effect they had. Right? And because he's been hanging around with Usman. What's Usman? What's he been doing with Usman Sajjad? Yeah, well, we all know, man. We all know what he's been doing. So Mr. Nice Guy has been, no doubt, allegedly juicing his ass off. Or at least he has connections to people. A doctor who's admitted he helps athlete juice up and admits, that he can... it's very easy to pass a test. So what do you know about that, homeboy? And that's not all. Now, there was a huge investigation into big international, right? So I'm not talking local. International methamphetamine ring, right? Now, drugs, obviously I've done them all. And there are... prescription drugs are dangerous as illegal drugs, right? Fentanyl, oxycodone. Is it oxycodone? Yeah, oxycodone. I think it's Vicodin, Oxycontin. Some of them are brand names, whatever. It doesn't matter. All these things that people are super addicted on the street. Fentanyl, as well as having a devastating effect on drug addicts. There's probably not much heroin trade in the US now because it's all fent, right? And drugs do cause damage. Cocaine's an evil drug. Meth. Look at the state. You only need to look at the state of some of the drug addicts, and just go look at some programs on people that inject meth and all kinds of crazinesses, and it's diabolical. So dealing in this kind of stuff is not good, especially when you're a multimillionaire boxer. Yeah, and he skipped town as well, didn't he? It's been revealed in the trial of a trio of guys who were found guilty of importing meth from California to Auckland. Yeah. Yeah, but the police never executed a warrant to find Parker. He was never charged, even though he was part of this gang. And it was, and they had evidence against him, which is kind of interesting. It makes you think, well, who got bribed? Police, probably. Yeah. Maybe someone had a word, big rock. You got to remember, the police corrupt as anything everywhere. They didn't go after Jimmy Savile, did they? They fitted up Colin Stagg and Barry George for crimes they didn't do. You know what I'm saying? They never investigated the Barrymore incident properly. That guy who died in his pool. They came to conclusion that this guy had basically been bummed to death and drowned. He had severe rectal injuries. They said, oh yeah, it's because he dive bombed into the pool. Now, How many people dive bomb around the world? Kids do it all the time. How many have ever had any kind of anal injuries, especially so severe they died from it? So the police are corrupt. So the fact that Parker didn't get charged is suspicious. He has been linked to an international drug ring. And it's funny as well because, he's with the Furies. Now, Peter Fury got nicked for being wholesaling meth. So, this gets even more suspicious. I spoke to a traveller in the pub and he knew a lot. I mean, you can't, it's only a guy in the pub talking, but he was saying, listen, man, he's serious. And there's plenty of rumours on the internet, plenty of evidence on the internet. Well, the evidence is that Pete Fury actually got nicked for serving meth, right? Now, Normies go, well, Pete Fury's not talking to John Fury. Oh, come on, man. Firstly, you don't believe everything you read. And that may be the case. Maybe they had a row, but did the international drug ring involve Parker, Fury? Who knows, man? Who knows? But it's dirty. No one gets to that point where they're being named in the papers and named, openly as being involved in this, and nothing happens. If there's no fight. I mean, Parker could have easily, if it was just totally made up, and why would anyone randomly make up this nonsense, right? Then Parker could have easily libeled, sued, all kinds of things, accused him of libel. Excuse me. All these papers, and he would have got a lot of money for it as well. But he was named. He was named and linked to an international methamphetamine ring. So Mr. Nice Guy, is he or is he not? Well, that's the other thing, you see. It's funny, isn't it? Around the stuff all this was happening, he skipped town. He was in New Zealand. He skipped town, didn't he? Joined Tyson Fury's camp. Okay? So joined Tyson Fury's camp in Morecambe. All right? Yeah, I don't think he even saw his wife or his kids for about 2 years. He was in Morecambe all the time, I mean, who would do that? Oh, I'm training with Fury. Well, come on, man. Be serious, man. Leaving your own family behind for 2 years. Yeah? And who knows? Probably Tyson Fury was in cuck mode. Yeah? And got Parker to smash his wife. Yeah? While he sat in the cuck chair like Otto Wallin. Hey, guy, watching the action. I just want to sit in the cuck chair and watch the action as you smash my girl. Who knows, man? Right? And there's actually articles out there where he admits, I missed the birth of every single one of my kids. Every single one of my kids. And he's blaming it on training and all that. Come on, man. No, you can't believe that, man. I missed the birth of all of my kids because he was out of town, getting the heat off himself. Obviously, he returns and gets hold of the wife now and then. He's got, but it's come on, man. There's something's fishy here. Something smells bad in Denmark, yo. I do feel a bit sorry for Parker because he's got 5 kids and they're all daughters. Imagine that, man. 5 daughters. You're a macho Samoan guy. An ex-world heavyweight champion, a big-time multi-million boxer, and you got 5 daughters. I mean, look, I'm not being funny. I know a few macho guys who, they've only got daughters, and they're whatever, man. You can just see they'd want a son. You just know it, man. And I don't know, who knows? Maybe I'm guessing here randomly. Maybe Joseph Parker's semen was feminized a bit by all the estrogen and hormones and what goodness knows what else. So, all the nut he was busting, was there to produce females, not males. I mean, I don't know. I'm guessing. I don't really know. I haven't read enough into it, but it's certainly suspicious. Yeah, it's suspicious. So what have you got with Parker? Well, he's a fruity dancer. Right? Now, people say, oh, he's just having fun. Well, they push all this kind of business, don't they? The agenda, the elitists. They encourage all the people to work from. They've always got to do humiliation rituals. And listen, doing that fruity little dance, right? To the Pointer Sisters, right? and wiggling his ass. Come on, man. That's come on, man. That ain't just a bit of fun. That's a humiliation ritual to show that he's been bought. So what do we have? We have Mr. Nice Guy. Mr. Nice Guy, Joseph Parker. Oh, he's a lovely guy, yeah. Who hasn't even attended any births of his daughters. Yeah. Who escaped to Morecambe when he was facing possible charges. Who's been part of a methamphetamine international drug gang, but didn't get nicked, oddly, even though there's plenty of evidence. A guy who has his big pals and been photographed with Dr. Usman Sajjad, who's known to work with loads of boxers who popped, and who has said, oh, it's easy to pass a drug test, and whose professional, business is basically, increasing testosterone in clients. Yeah. So what is it? That's the dark side of Joseph Parker. The Mr. Smiley. What's the dark side of Joseph Parker? Has he been involved in a meth gang? He's been involved with an extremely dodgy doctor, and he suddenly put on 20 pounds of muscle and suddenly started banging like a prime Tyson. Mike Tyson, that is, not Tyson Fury. Yeah? Yeah? And a guy who does fruity humiliation rituals. So, that's the dark side of Joseph Parker. That's the dark side of Joseph Parker. What else is there, I wonder? Well, probably cuckolding Tyson Fury as well, which is grotesque. I mean, who knows? Yeah, actually, do you know, that reminds me, when I had a Twitter, I put the video up, right? And it was a fun video of Parker and Tyson Fury. And you can find it on my old videos. And, and Tyson Fury is trying to get Parker to cuckold him and all this kind of stuff. It's one of those AIs, one of my movies things. It's quite fun. Have a look. I can't remember what it's called. But yeah, I put it up, and all I did, I didn't put it on his page or anything. I didn't put it on Parker's page. I just copied it in. I copied Fury in, and I got blocked by Parker, no one else. So that makes you suspicious. Yeah, maybe we're a bit too close to the truth. By the way, if you hear that drinking noise, that's Tyson, my dog, drinking. He's very thirsty. There's no, if it sounds like whacking, trust me, it ain't whacking. But anyway, yeah, there's a very, very dark side to Joseph Parker, and I wonder if anything more will come out.